You're listening to the Live Lama podcast. I'm Gunjan.
I'm Rajiv.
Rajiv, today I want to talk about the phrase that we've heard so many times: dreamers are achievers. And I don't think so that's true.
So, two different things. Are we talking about dreamers who achieve, or are we just talking about achievers? Because in my view, they're not necessarily related.
That is
Achievers usually have a big dream, but many times they may not.
My point, Rajiv, here is that what are dreams and where are they coming from? When people ask second grader, "Bachcha bade hoke kya banoge?" or even in school interviews when we go, parents are interviewed and they ask parents, "So what do you want your kid to be?" And I was asked this question, that what do you want your kid to be? And I was thinking in my head, when my son was born, Barack Obama became the president
of US.
So I was thinking, why will I think anything less than being president of US?
So I think you're answering the question that when somebody asks you as a parent that what would you like your child to be? So I think the question is, then your child, is he going to live up to your dream, or is he going to get an opportunity to define or identify his own dream and achieve that?
And he should. He has told me very clearly, I do not want to be president of America. I do not want to be president or higher authority of any country, because they have to send people for war, and I do not like wars, and I just don't even want to be in that state. So he has communicated that very clearly.
Okay, so that dream is out. So your dream is out.
It was just the instant thought that came to my mind when this question was, why should I think anything less than being president?
Yeah, like they say that if you have to dream, then dream big, whether you achieve it or not.
Exactly. अपने ख्वाब तो कम से कम
Yes, don't be miserly in your own dream.
Exactly the point. However, the question here is, again, when they say dreamer or your dream or your aspiration or your goals, whatever, however you want to put it in life, my point is, किसका ख्वाब है ये? Is it my own dream? Did I explore things enough for myself? I'll keep kids aside or my husband aside. Like, I really wanted my husband to join defense. I really wanted him to be part of.
So you are not dreaming also on behalf of your husband.
Anyways, okay, different story altogether. Maybe a topic for some other day. But I just want to talk about my dreams. And it was very simple. My dad wanted my brother to be an engineer, me to be a doctor. He even wanted my bua to be a doctor. And then he worked really hard that, somehow she can. But yeah, it did not happen. Anyways, but where are these dreams coming from? And why do we carry so much of burden on ourselves when we realize that we could not fulfill it?
You see, again, I think we are getting confused on a couple of things. In my view, when I say that I have a dream, the phrase that I would use, it should be my own original, goal or target or, whatever phrase or word you want to use. So what you are saying is that, the peer pressure or parental pressure or social pressure.
Exactly.
It's like, but that is not my dream. So then the question becomes, will we actually get food? Will we have what you call as, a feeling of fulfillment if we achieve that goal? And if you remember, we did a discussion with award-winning author, very young, Shankalita. Now think about it, that why would success, achieving something which people strive towards, effortlessly make you feel hollow? In my opinion, and this thing is because it was not something that the person was internally driven to be. So if your own mind or if your own drive does not create that dream for you, you are just fulfilling other people's dream. That's my opinion.
So Rajiv, you said that original dream. Now the point here is original. Where is this originality coming from? Because you will be inspired by something. You will be inspired by someone. How do we come to know that, okay, this is just a cloud, something that is clouding my thoughts, or is it something that is driving me internally? Like, for instance, if I read about Mahatma Gandhi or if I read about Mother Teresa, I can be totally inspired that, okay,
I want to do this, yes.
there
I
are
want to do
other
social work.
Yes,
I want to uplift the poor.
Yes, uplift the poor, beat poverty.
Or what?
Whatever,
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Again, where is the originality? Like,
so let's talk about this, because this is, to understand what is truly yours versus what is something that is imposed. Oh, whether you are unconsciously imposing upon yourself or whatever, right? So there may be, situations where, let's say, you get inspired by industry leader, Steve Jobs, or Elon Musk or whatever, and then you say, okay, I want to be like that. Or you get inspired by, some entrepreneur or social work, like you said. The question is that, is it simply that you're trying to mimic somebody, versus is it something that, if you, let's say you only have 1 hour to live or 1 day to live, where would you want to spend that time? I think that, if you think about, will hit the point in terms of that is what my true nature is. And that will actually make it very clear that, where you belong. So the term that we talk about vocation. Vocation is something that you would want to do when you have free time. What is it that you are compelled to do, by your own nature? That, I think, is the dream. So for me, my wife and, sometimes we complain that, I'm always at the computer. So, because for me, when I get free time, I want to write something. I want to, read something. So for me, if I, yes, I, watch YouTube once in a while and all that. But my total average TV watching time per day is less than 15 minutes. So, and I keep reminding myself, where am I getting pulled to? If I can do, the only thing I would want to do is think and write. Whether I'm successful or not, is a different equation altogether. That's a different thing. But, over time, I'm sure that, my writing has improved. I can, I can be better at what I'm doing. The question becomes that, the correlation of dreaming and achieving, we have coupled it so together that we assume that if you dream big, you can achieve big. In my view, those are two separate things. And that's where I think the question that you are asking is that, how do we know, am I trying to achieve something that is demanded or expected of me by my peers, my parents, my society that I live in, or peer pressure, whatever it is, versus something that I'm driven to achieve?
Rajiv, here I want to bring a personal story. And again, I'll bring that after asking this question. What was that one thing where you felt fulfilled that, okay, this was something I really wanted to do and I've achieved this? And it can be any small thing, maybe even just going for skiing or, just any small.
No, see, it can be as small, for me, if I write, a couplet, that really makes me think again, that, I revisit and say, yes, I like it for myself. I don't care about, because, because I specialize in writing books that nobody buys, right? So the main thing is that, for me, when I write a story or a blog or something and I revisit and say, yeah, I'm happy about it. That's it. For me, that is nothing goes beyond that. There is nothing, monetary gain or fame or, whatever you say, recognition attached to it. And that's what I think, we have to think about and be, cognizant about, that dreaming and achieving are two different things. And achieving in terms of what we have, social yardstick of rich and famous, versus achieving something that, you feel fulfilled, are very different things. So what's your story that you were going to share?
Oh, so yes, my heartfelt gratitude to you, Rajiv. This podcast was a dream. It happened. And it was not a podcast actually. I wanted to be an RJ, then I wanted to start community radio. Then 2008 when this came, and I remember this line of Barack Obama, "Pod Save America," where the line is God save America. And then he said, "Pod Save America." And then I was like, yeah, it's a good platform, and maybe I should think about it, or I really don't know what happened and why it did not happen then. But yes, even after 15 years, it happened. The day it was launched, and we have gone through series of recordings and series of, okay, this is not working, this is not how it should work. But yes, this is my personal story, that this was a dream which started like I wanted to be an RJ, and then how it evolved, and yes, here it is. But yes, it was absolutely not possible if I did not have that kind of support and push. And not everyone is as lucky as me that they'll get a friend who will be like, okay, you can do this, I can do this, and we have this complementary skill set, and let's combine it together and go for it. So again, the thing is that dreamers are achievers. You may or may not be able to achieve that dream till the time you have that support, and nobody will support you unless until they have their vested interest.
So first of all, thank you for so it was mutual. I remember that,
Yes,
when we were discussing, because it was, see, there are a couple of things that, the talking about vested interest versus, push. I remember that we were discussing at that time, and, one of the key fear factor that you had was that, many people in your, peer circle, friends, family, whatever, they will look at it and discourage you right away. What are you doing? Is this really this thing? Oh, have you thought? So essentially analysis paralysis, or creating something that anybody or everybody can do it. It's like demeaning the effort before you even start. So see, the main thing is, from my perspective, that in spite of that, you took you said, okay, Rajiv, let's experiment and do it. Right? So in my perspective, the dreamers who achieve something do not care about anybody and everybody who's saying around them. Now, support, I'm divided on that. In my view, even if you don't have support of anybody, but you have a very clear dream, and you are confident that you can do it, and you work hard, you will achieve what you start to achieve. But
easier said than done, Rajiv. By support, again, I'll tell you. And this is again a story of a very close relative. Brilliant kid. Like, if I tell you her marks, she scored 100 in social studies and some 98 in science, something like this in all these subjects in 10th grade, 11th, 12th. She did it in virtual school because she wanted to crack medicals. And she needed that kind of support from her family, that sending her away, supporting her, that she wants to pursue medical sciences. And again, you need that kind of support. Otherwise, you think that, okay, with college, you can, with school, you can do the prep work. Everything is available online. Not possible. Even for IITs, like, I don't want to encourage what is going on in Kota. I think from 5th grade, 6th grade, they start coaching from IIT. I'm not sure about it, but yes, I think at very young age, they start coaching.
Yeah, but you see that's, support, what you're talking about is social pressure, that, parents or, this thing, that they start pushing their kids right from 2nd, 3rd grade or 5th grade to go to IIT, which I don't know what, or in US, it is Harvard or MIT and all that. I've seen, a lot of people, especially in the, actually mostly in Asian families, but, even now, a lot of elite Americans or Caucasians, they have these, the things attached to that, my child will go to elite college. So I'm not talking about that. That is not dreamer or achiever. That, I think, is purely, and that is there is no support. Whatever support you're giving is because you're forcing your child to fulfill your dream that you could not achieve. See, the problem that I always have with these people is that I ask them, who's stopping you to go to Harvard today? You can, there's no age limit. You can go and try to get MBA from Harvard today.
They'll have
The problem is that,
this
yes, so the problem that I have with all these, the pushers is that you are forcing your dreams on somebody else, and then you are saying that my child is not happy. And you see these, people committing suicide. Now, here's a very interesting thing. People think it only happen in India. In US, in Bay Area, the parents, they guard railway tracks during exams because their children commit suicide. Nobody talks about this. There is no news about it.
That's very heartbreaking.
It is. There's so much of pressure. And this is, I'm talking about the, people who themselves are achievers. And they think that, just because they, they actually, either through their own dreams, if they did that, then they should not be pushing that pressure on their children, because, you would be mature enough to understand that, hey, this was my dream. People who show these kind of behavior in terms of pushing their children to achieve something that they could not achieve, it's purely that whatever they did in their life was not of their own making. And that's where I, come back to the dreamers and achievers. Everything that you do in life should be of your own doing, of your own thinking. Yes, I'm not saying that, that there is, there's some certain social things that you want, you want to be, a cognizant citizen, you want to be a good civic, civic sense and all that. So, those are like being a good human being.
Yeah.
That is not that, that would be like a rebel without a cause, that, I don't want to be like everybody else, so I'm going to go piss on the street, something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, like when we were young, these movies where they are doing smuggling and all, and this is all on the lighter note. As kid, we also used to think, oh my God, this looks very exciting that you are at
yeah, exactly.
Mud Island and then ship is coming and then those gold biscuits. So yes, all those things look very fascinating. And then Bollywood, again, I'll say, have a very big role in.
Oh yeah, media. I would say though, not the Bollywood, media. Yes.
Yeah, like in 80s, everybody wanted that joint family with a big mansion kind of a house, and then Dil Chahta Hai came, everybody wanted that
Karan Johar
Goa
weddings.
Then
all the Karan Johar weddings. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So all those things are like, this is good. This is life. This is what we actually want to do. Meet at least once with our friends, visit Goa. But yes, those are like, just holiday achievement.
Yeah, but let's say, the thing that the question you're asking, that dreamers and achievers, and you said that support is absolutely necessary. Structural support, I agree that if you're a child, you're not earning, and yes, you want your parents to support you, to feed you, and whatever they can. I agree with that. But once you're an adult and you are earning, you are an independent individual, then what support are you expecting?
Again, there's a difference between being an adult, like adult, if you say 18 and above, right?
Yes. No, I'm saying
then
that, I'm saying,
maturity.
Adult means, okay. So, when I say adult means that, assumption is that once you start earning and you are independent, you're mature and you can handle your life by yourself. That's my expectation. That's what I call adult. I'm not talking about between 18, as long as you're dependent on somebody for livelihood to take care of your, living. Yes, you may be, by age, you may be called an adult, but I think you're still dependent.
Yes, again, Rajiv, the thing is that it's not like that, okay, I wanted to do an engineering and then getting a job in corporate. Once you join that and you're like, oh no, this is not something that I decided for myself. I want to do something else. And then taking that career break and then coming back.
Yes.
So again, it's not like that once you achieve what you've always dreamt of, it's not like that you'll be always happy. Oh, this is something I wanted, something I got, and now I'm happy. That's not always the case. And I was reading one research paper, and this is just 50% that people who dream, 50% of them are able to achieve. And then number is again very small, that they are happy with what they have achieved.
Yes, I was going to say that dreaming, achieving, and being happy about what you achieve are very different things altogether. The question is that, what is the kind of support that, one would expect or one should expect? See, my personal opinion again is that, somebody who wants to achieve something, it's like you have a dream and you're so hell-bent upon achieving this, you would not give a shit about anybody and everybody around you. You would go against current. You would exactly, you will do what it takes to achieve that. And I think, one of the very good examples, recently I watched that movie 12th Fail. It's very good, example of how this individual had the dream, went against all the narratives, stood up to himself, risked everything. And I think, it's a very, very good example and very inspirational story about dreaming and achieving and being happy about it, and still be, have very high integrity and not fall into trap of, the success going to your head. So, and that's, I think, if you look at it, there are many examples in the world around that where, people start from nowhere and then achieve, exemplary, results.
The example that comes to my head of two brilliant young players, and Harsha Bhogle beautifully presented that Sachin Tendulkar, Kamdi, they started their career at the same age, at the same time, and then Sachin Tendulkar is like
where he is, yes.
Where he is, and then Kamdi just vanished in thin air. It was just because of the attitude that both of them were carrying.
Multiple things, yeah.
Yes. Multiple factors, but yes, it was brought. Its ability doesn't guarantee success.
Absolutely.
It has to be a combination of hard work and attitude.
Your resilience, your perseverance.
Yes.
What you want to actually, what is it that you're willing to give up to achieve what you want to achieve, and then be fulfilled with it. Not then complain about, once you achieve what you have achieved, then don't start complaining or regretting what you have given up to achieve it. And so that, I think, is, one of the key factors that, at least in my mind, I would differentiate and see whether you are achieving what you wanted to achieve, or were you trying to achieve something that was because of social pressure or other people expectations.
And also, it's money driven as well. So my respect for Sachin Tendulkar is a lot. Reason being, the time he became cricketer, he was gifted, prodigy. Yeah. And it was not money driven that, okay, I'll get into cricket and I'll make a lot of money. The time he joined. But today, if someone joins or if wants to get into cricket team or IPL or anywhere, it's, I'll not say every time, but most of the times it's money driven, that, okay, we'll get a lot of money.
Money. Most of our decisions are driven by money. Why did the parents, or most of the parents, Asian parents, talk about engineer and doctor? Because those are the only two, the lines that were available. But as of today, India has changed so much that even today, if you insist your child to be only one or the other, then I think something is wrong.
So, Rajiv, question here is that how do I make that conscious decision that we don't impose our dreams on our kids or even on ourselves? Like, is it my aspiration, my dream, or is it just getting imposed by someone? How do we make that conscious choice?
You see, it is something that you have to ask yourself in terms of, like the example I gave, what is it that you get driven towards? For yourself, I think identifying that what you are driven by, what I'm driven by, I can talk about myself that this is what drives me. This is what I want to do. This is, I want to, either read, write, whatever, or sing, because when I get free time, that's where I get, driven to. So I think for me, the biggest indication is if you're all alone and you have free time, what do you want to do? Not you choose to do. A lot of people will switch on YouTube or Netflix and something because they hesitate to take that step towards what they really want to do. And the same thing with the children. I think the children should be left to experiment. The life is not a linear, in my view, life is not a linear thing. When I turned 50 plus, and I had, I was a techie, or I'm techie. And I saw that the technology world is shifting towards AI. I started taking online courses because that's my passion. Technology is my passion. So the learning or pivoting in life should never stop. And I think that's the key thing that we should inculcate in our children. And I think in one of my recent blog that I wrote about that, I have always believed that it is better to experiment and fail than never to experiment at all. Right? So what that means is that, I would rather figure out, hey, maybe this is not, this is not what I am. This is not what I am. Like, I think we talked about neti, right? So you keep experimenting, keep exploring yourself and say, this is truly what drives me. This is truly what my dream is.
Yes, I remember this example very vividly, that I don't know one way to make a bulb, but I know 100 ways how not to make it.
Yes, Edison said that. Yes, exactly. Yes.
So, yes, keep experimenting, keep exploring yourself. And again, I met someone long ago, and she said that, Gunjan, you can have multiple dreams. She was running a school.
Yeah.
I had this dream of having a school, then I have a dream of having a flower shop, then I have a dream of having a coffee shop. I was like, oh my God, these are all my dreams. And she's saying it so proudly. Like when you tell people that this is what you want to do, this is what you want to do, and then they're like, sometimes this person says this, sometimes this person says that. And it all depends on the mood and vibe and where you are at that time.
Yeah, but you see, then what do you follow up with? That is the question.
Right.
Yes, you want to be 10, if you remember my story Splinters, that is exactly what I explored there. And there's nothing wrong in changing your opinion and your dreams and everything. But the question is, what do you see through is more important than what you just say.
Rajiv, I remember this line. I don't know where I heard this, but it said that ख्वाब वो नहीं होते जो सोने पे आते हैं, ख्वाब वो होते हैं जो सारी रात सोने नहीं देते. And I remember you have written something similar to this.
I think the couplet I had written is that नींद में, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly. I'll have to pull out.
Take your time.
No, नींद में तो ख्वाब बहुत देखे होंगे तुमने, एक ख्वाब ऐसा भी देखो जो नींदें उड़ा दे.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Do visit our website, thelilaama.com, THELIELLAMA.com. Do let us know if you want to come to our show. We'll be more than happy to host you. Stay tuned.
Thank you.